That one echo. You mean you're echoing?
Who's echoing me?
Jen, would you do a roll call, please?
Tom McDonald,
Here.
Anita Matt, Jennifer Finley. Here. Jim Molitor,
Here.
Carol Langford, Len Tutti, Bing Matt, Ellie Bundy,
Present.
Martin Charlo, Mike Nelson,
I'm here.
James Steele Senior.
I'm present, I'm sorry. Phone froze.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Well, in respect to the elders in the crowd, I would offer to Joe or Shirley or, well, Ryan, I don't know, you're not that old yet. If either of you would like to lead us in a prayer this morning.
Gestrekst open. Lamlam chkulun sutun lu kaswitzt asya kaklan hulwilten. Kaslam di hul kastuli hul kasaul asya. Me kasaunam lukast. Kast oa lukast kunilch yatlwa. Communicatia in Hessels dakak saimt mit toch lukast kulkwelt tuchel sheke as tujawi kulkasia kulkast udiel na gest kaksa ya utikak stiluisi luka القلقالي شيء وكاكس خيل وكاكس بالقوات كاكس كم كميلشي دم شكلن سوتن
Well, Shirley. Okay, we have minutes from May 21st before you for your consideration. Motion by Len to approve the May 21st minutes with corrections. Second by Jennifer. Any further discussion? Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On page 4, where we were looking at the property allotment 4215-C, I believe it was show interest in the full property, wasn't it? It's listed as only in purchasing the 1/2 undivided interest. I think there were 2 people and they each had a half interest. So it was interest in the whole property.
Thank you, Mike. I think that was the intent of the council. Any other corrections, discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Martin.
I think it's on the last page when it's talking about the property. Should we be using names? I thought we weren't going to. I thought we were just gonna label them by number and things like that.
When are you specifically talking about, Martin?
The property that we, or that you guys toured on Friday. I don't know. I mean, I thought that was kind of our deal, is that we didn't want to talk about property we're potentially purchasing.
Yeah, we can change that to reference just the trust property in the heart of Pablo. Any other corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous. We have today's agenda, draft agenda for you. We have a couple of walk-ins. Is there any other additions or changes to the agenda? Go ahead, Jen.
I had the one from Jane, if you wanted to add that at the end of the day or not.
Yeah, let's try to squeeze that in. We'll Shane Morgio at the end of the day after Ruth in the financial report. Any other additions? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve today's agenda with additions. Motion by Mike. Second by Bing. Any further discussion? All those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous. Just one quick housekeeping thing, just a reminder that the next chairs meeting will be not until the 27th of June. And then we follow that in the afternoon with the admin eval. And for Monday's field trip, just a reminder, if you want to do the morning field trip, you have to be there by 10. If you're just doing the afternoon field trip to the hatchery, you have to be there by 2. If you plan on attending the possible dinner, you need to probably be there by 6 on Monday. So just heads up. So it's sequenced. Yeah, for Monday at Bonners Ferry. It was. I don't know the rendezvous locations, but we'll get that information from Stu and Rich. Okay, our first walk-in, Joe and Bob, come on up. I don't know, Bob, you're running with a pretty sketchy crowd there. The old professional shake money out of the tree guy. Okay. Push the button on the mic, Bob.
Well, for the record, I'm Bob Biggert, and there, now I hear myself. We're here to request permission to use 3 of your tribal council portraits in a book on Salish and Kootenai athletes that we're working on, and there's some information in the handout on it, and Joe can tell you more about it. So,
yeah, the athletes are listed. Charlie Allard went to the University of Montana very early in the days of University of Montana, played on the football team. He's quite an outstanding football player. And then 3 feathers is a Kootenai. His name is Gravel, but he was a very, very well-known wrestler in the late 1890s, turn of the century. William, Matt, and Henry, they were also wrestlers at the same time and did a lot of wrestling in Missoula, Spokane, and so forth, with a lot of write-ups on them. Nick Lassa, of course, you know the fame of Nick, having gone to Carlisle and then staying back east, and was a professional football player and wrestler back there, and outstanding athlete, and even in track. Jimmy Dupuy was a boxer, and very, very, very courageous guy. And then we get into basketball. Sam Roulier and Frenchy Roulier and Sam Claremont played for the Ronan team. They were the Ronan Tornadoes, but because they were so good and won so many games, the sports writer Missoula nicknamed them the Chiefs. And so they've been the Ronan Chiefs ever since because of that. The Archie McDonald, of course, was a well-known football player. He played for Haskell He was a high school student and they all played on the same team and they played Notre Dame. And he always vowed that he was the only high school player to ever play 60 minutes against Notre Dame. But he went, after he finished there, he came back to the University of Montana and was a tackle on some well-known Grizzly teams of 37, 38, very, very well. And then, of course, Marvin Campbell. So we stayed pre-war, pre-World War II, except for Marvin. Book 2 will probably have feature Mike Dawson, maybe from Hot Springs.
And another star athlete. So.
We put Big Matt into that one too. Is it the consensus of council to allow them to utilize public displayed photos?
And full credit will be given too, of course, like we have to. So.
Well, it looks like you got consensus here. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, didn't Glenn Smith play for the Grizz too?
He did. He played for the Grizzly basketball. Yeah.
What's that, Carol?
Glenn Smith, he played for the Grizz.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of them, Carol.
Oh, yeah, there's others.
We didn't want to get into that. Got Big Matt too, and you know, and Mike Dawson, Tom McDonald. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
we got a good,
Great. Yeah, thank you.
good to go.
Thank you, man.
Randy. We press it off.
Prolific writers, I tell you. Okay, next we'll have Tim and then we'll have Shirley in executive. So come on up, Tim. No, don't let Tim, you come first because we'll go in executive for Shirley.
Good morning, council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this morning. First off, I didn't list all my requests in that paper there, but it's referencing educational encampments that SKC is sponsoring, and also to request a waiver of recreational permits for my Mission Mountain Youth Crew for this summer, which is a 7-week program. First off, I should probably mention coming up is our SKC encampment that Frank Finley and I are facilitating through SKC, and that's coming up June 5th through the 11th. And there is some possible students in there that are not tribal members and descendants. We wanted to make sure that we were not getting in trouble with any of our permitting system that we have and our game wardens. That's one encampment. The other encampment will be happening in July 11th through the 15th. And that is also part of the culture and language program that I am department head and instructor with. So there's those 2 encampments plus my Mission Mountain Youth Crew, which starts June 13th and ends July 29th. 7-week program there. That program will be 1 week on the reservation and then 1 week on the Swan side with Flathead National Forest doing forest restoration work with them. So they'll switch back and forth through the 7-week program that we have. We are also planning a team building float trip down the Flathead River for 3 days and 2 nights with our students also. So we essentially, I want to make sure that we are, that we don't get in trouble that way too with those, all those activities happening. So, and if there's any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Where are the, obviously the work crew is easy, but where are the other encampments at? Vandenberg? Where are your encampments at other than, not the youth crew, but the other 2?
Yes, when we're, the other 2, they'll both be at the Vandenberg camp. Yeah.
Okay. You know, I get a little bit confused on that one because I thought a long time ago, the council exempted the Vandenberg camp from rec permit requirements.
Okay,
And that was organized with the remember Lucy used to handle that, you know, who would schedule it and how it is. So I'm not sure who the scheduler is anymore for the camp.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Do you know, Shirley? But I know that's where I used to send people back when I was working back in the day, but, because that's what, you know, Agnes, that was for everybody
Yeah,
at camp, and it was, you know, that kind of a situation that she wanted to do. So I remember that's council policy for that. I don't know if it's changed since then. Is Myrna? Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I thought maybe that we should double check that and make sure,
okay.
see if that's it. Otherwise, any questions for Tim? I know the work crews that we have that do work for the tribes. We've always had the historical record to grant them free use permits for their activity. And Tim, if you need to borrow my boat again for the river flow, let me know.
Actually, I'd appreciate that, yes. And we do have on for the, starting the 13th, we will have our training for our crew, our youth crew, and we invite anyone of the council that wants to meet with our crew also that day. I can give you more information on that. There will be Kurt Steele, of regional Forest Service individual, will be meeting also with our crew, and to give some words of encouragement and the buy-in.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. I think Martin, well, I had a conflict that was going to come over, but Martin signed up. I can't remember. There was somebody else. Was it Mike? Mike was going to come over that morning.
Okay, I'll follow up with some more specific information for you on that, and with Martin too.
Any questions about the request for waiving a group use fee or individual fees for the participants of the Mission Mountain Trail Crew and the college encampments?
There, in my youth crew, excuse me, we only have two there that are descendants, so then I want to make sure that they're covered.
Need action? Anybody?
I'd make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Martin to approve the CSKT College request for the permit waiver for the Mission Mountain Trail Crew and the two college encampments. Second by Ellie. Any further discussion? All those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous. Well, Len's out of the room. Thanks, Tim.
Very much, council. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, sure will.
Shirley. We'll go into executive session.